Welcome back to America's Commercial Real Estate Show. I'm Michael Bull. This segment is brought to you by GetValuate.com. Check it out. It's an excellent online investment analysis tool at GetValuate.com. Well, today we're talking about multifamily, and I think if you think about multifamily, you do have some employees, right? You have some leasing people, maintenance people, management people. Well, how would you like it if you had more options for those employees? You had more to choose from. How would you like it if your employees stayed longer, right? We hate turnover, right? And having to go through the training process again. And how would you like to have all of that and do something good for society? Well, you'll like this. Please welcome my guest, Andy Helmer. He's Chief Executive Officer with SheltersToShutters.org, and he's joining us on Skype today. Andy, thanks for being with us.
Michael, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Well, Andy, tell us in brevity, what is Shelters to Shutters?
You know, Michael, Shelters to Shutters is really a private industry solution to a very public social issue. And it's a multifamily initiative where we help individuals that are experiencing homelessness find both employment and housing through the multifamily industry.
Yeah, so tell us some more about it. So if you're an apartment complex owner, manager, asset manager, why should you consider this and think about it and want to know about it?
Sure. Well, as you and your listeners know, the multifamily industry has experienced incredible growth over the last 6 to 9 years. And we hear very commonly from our industry partners about the issue of churn. And you mentioned it in your opening, that employers are always looking for great entry-level employees, and we're really finding individuals that have the exact skill set that you're looking for, but from a talent pool that most companies aren't looking in.
And where is that pool? Where are these people coming from?
So we work with individuals that are situationally homeless, and situationally homeless means these are individuals that have been in the workforce before. They have marketable skills, but through a series of circumstances or bad luck have found themselves without a place to live. And situationally homeless represents about 70% of all those that experience homelessness. So there's a big pool of people that, again, have been in the workforce before, have these marketable skills, particularly for the entry-level positions in the multifamily industry. So leasing agent, groundskeeper, maintenance tech, things of that sort.
Yeah, and you mentioned churn, turnover of these entry-level kind of level employees. So what do you see as normal churn for these positions, and what are you experiencing here at Shelters to Shutters?
Most of our partners tell us that at the entry level, churn can be as high as 50% annually. So that's obviously a huge number. And with S2S candidates, our churn rate's about 13%.
Wow, that's significantly better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me, how does it work? So if I operate or own an apartment community, what should I do? What's the process?
So today, Michael, we operate in about 15 cities across the U.S. We work with a network of a little bit more than 100 nonprofit partners. So an individual has to be associated with one of our partners. You just can't call up and say, hey, I love your program, I want to be involved. So we get referrals from our nonprofit partners. We've provided our...
Let me interrupt you for 1 second. Are those partners on your website? How can we find those? Okay, so we can go to your website, SheltersToShutters.org, and see who those partners
That's exactly
are.
Right.
Very good. Okay,
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and so it'll be city specific. And so we provide our nonprofit partners with entry-level job descriptions. So if they find an individual that might be a good fit, they'll refer them to Shelters to Shutters. We'll do an in-depth screening, we'll do a background check, and if everything checks out, we'll send them on to our industry partner. And we typically like to send between 2 and 4 candidates per position.
Okay, so I like that. So I'm not going to see people strolling in for an interview that look like they just came from under a bridge and smell like wine.
That's exactly right.
These are good people that are situationally homeless.
That's exactly correct. So these are individuals, like I said, Depending on the study that you read, Michael, between 56 and 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck and have less than $1,000 in their bank account. So everything essentially has to go just right for them to be okay month to month. And those are really the people that we're trying to give a second chance to. So most common reasons people find themselves situationally homeless: sudden job loss, unexpected medical bill, victim of domestic violence, or quite frankly, natural disaster.
Yeah, well, it's a great mission, Andy. So who started this and when?
Yeah, so it was founded by somebody from the multifamily industry. His name's Chris Finley. Chris spent his career in multifamily and runs Middleburg. He was reading an article several years ago about a writer that decided to experience homelessness for 3 days in Asheville, North Carolina. And a couple things really struck Chris. Number one was this whole notion of situationally homeless versus chronically homeless. Chris, like many of us, kind of lumped homeless into one group. Yeah. The other thing was you couldn't even apply for a fast food restaurant if you didn't have a permanent address. So it's that vicious cycle, right? How do you get a job if you don't have an address? And how do you keep an address if you don't have a job? About the same time, he was getting these churn reports that I mentioned from his properties, and kind of a light bulb went out, and he just said, I wonder if there's a way for me to engage the local nonprofits in the communities where I have property to see if I could find individuals that are situationally homeless.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. So this is good for communities where they're looking for employees that are going to live on site, right?
That's exactly right. Okay. People live where they work. And so, with homelessness, there are different models, whether it's a job first model or a housing first model. And the great thing about this program is you get both, right? You live where you work, so you're getting a competitive wage position and you're getting a place to live.
Yeah, it's a great program, Andy. So what cities are you in now?
So we're based in Northern Virginia, so we operate very heavily in Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland. We're also in North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham, and Charlotte, North Carolina. We're in Nashville, Chicago, Seattle, Austin, Houston, and Dallas, Texas.
Okay, and if some of our audience is in other cities and they like the idea of this, what can they do to maybe get you guys to have this in their city?
Absolutely. So I encourage individuals that are interested either in cities that we currently operate or potential cities to operate to reach out to us on our website that you've mentioned a couple times. So it's just shelters2shutters.org. There's a button to get more information or contact us, and we can kind of start the process.
Andy, what a great program. Thanks for doing it. Thanks for leading it. And thanks for coming on the show and sharing it with our audience.
Michael, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Happy to be here.
All right. And hey, if you will, share this segment. Get it out there. What a great cause. And for multifamily owners, a great opportunity. So please share, comment, and connect with us on all your social media sites. And we're going to have another show, a great show next week. So join us. And until then, be sure you always lead, learn, and laugh. And join us for America's Commercial Real Estate Show.